Mhm.
Hello and welcome to Wellbeing Gets Real Conversations. I'm here with Kristi. Well, you're no longer Kristi Carpenter, actually, Kristi Bensemann. An old colleague, a wonderful friend of mine. Kristi, hello, how are you?
I'm good. Good. How are you, Charlie?
Very well, very well. Kristi is a mother of two gorgeous little boys and lives all the way over the ditch in New Zealand. And Kristi, you and your hubby have a business together. So you are quite involved in that on a day-to-day basis. So how, with two little boys and a business, how do you fit wellbeing in? Tell us what you do. What are your
Yeah.
priorities? What are your, I guess, what are your things that need to happen in order for you to function well, feel
Yeah,
good and
absolutely.
function well?
Yeah,
If
well,
that's a thing.
Well, I would say life with two boys and a business. Definitely what I'm looking for is calm and fun, to, I guess, give me a little bit of a release. A very wise person told me as a relatively new mum that I needed to look for the moments,
Yeah.
and look for the really small kind of wins throughout the day. And I think that's probably quite a hard one because I am, like a lot of people, a bit of a perfectionist. So my idea of what, good exercise looks like is a good solid 60-minute workout that covers, all these things. And so it's been, for me, it's really looking at what are the things that bring me that calm and that fun, that I can realistically do in a little 10 or 15-minute slot just during the day.
That
So
is
yeah.
that is such a golden nugget because I think we do have this traditional view of exercise must be this. And
Mm,
if I can't do this, then I won't do it at all. And
yeah.
whereas it's not so much, I mean, exercise is amazing, but it's the movement. Like we are born to move, and it's the stagnation of sitting at a desk and not moving our bodies.
Yeah.
That is so detrimental to our health. Like, what's the new research? It's sitting all day and not moving is like smoking a pack of cigarettes. You know,
Jeez. Wow.
it's don't quote me on this. No, 15 cigarettes a day or something for not. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's akin
Yeah.
to smoking.
Not good.
It's like
Yeah.
it's not good
Yeah.
for your health, basically.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's really just saying, well, what is the movement that I can do? Like a 2-minute move, something to get my head down below, to release stress, like a downward dog or a few squats, or, get the blood pumping, or some stretches, or maybe putting on a song and just having a good old jig.
Yeah,
To have that
absolutely.
jolt of joy kind of thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
traditionally we're like, oh, well, I can't do that, so I won't do it at all.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Yeah. It's all or nothing. Hey. And so, I mean, this is something both my husband and I have kind of been working on. And so we ended up buying this thing called an assault bike.
Oh, so you're starting small.
But it's basically like an air bike that, it gets your arms and your legs working. So
Yeah.
we figured, nice all body workout, and we've got it
Yeah.
right next to the office. And
Yeah.
so if we're really, really busy, at least we can, I'll make sure I'm in my exercise gear in the mornings so
Yeah.
that when I get that kind of spare 10 minutes or something, I'll hop on there and just go hard for 10 minutes. And it gets your blood pumping really quickly and, your heart rate. Yeah. So it's worked quite well for us actually.
That's really
Um,
cool.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
that sort of gives you that momentum then to like be kind of more interested in doing it again. Like if you don't have little spurts
Yep.
of like, and it starts to play into your identity. It's like, well, I'm someone who does, exercise throughout the day, as opposed to I'm someone who doesn't. Like you start to
Yeah.
believe that and then you start to create more opportunity for movement and that sort of thing. Like it, um, yeah.
Absolutely. I think you're starting from a strengths point of view. It's like, well, I've achieved that. So then it all doesn't
Mm,
feel quite so overwhelming. So you can just build on it.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so
Oh,
it's been a
that's
bit of a kind of
cool.
recent win. I guess going
Yeah.
on that kind of exercise theme, the other thing that has worked really well for me has having structured exercise with kind of friends. So I have a Pilates class on a Tuesday night, and I go around, we live kind of semi-rural. So I go around and I pick up 3 other friends
Oh,
and
fun.
take them into this Pilates class. And it adds, a bit of extra to my time to pick everybody up and drop them all off. But we love it. Like, we love being in the car together, and that sort of 20 minutes driving there, having a good laugh or a catch up.
I
And
mean,
then
you
doing
can cover a lot of
together.
bases in 20 minutes
Oh, mate, you really
conversationally,
can.
especially women, because we jump from,
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of laughing, and it's just so good. Like, I just know, like, from that happens every Tuesday. That's kind of like a little anchor to my week. That if nothing else happens, that happens. I get a good workout from core perspective, and I get that catch up with my friends as well. So, yeah, yep.
That social
really
brain is really being is being nurtured there as well. So
yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Yes. So yeah, that's been that's pretty important to me, I guess. The morning ritual is something that I've sort of been reflecting on since the big lockdowns. I remember our big sort of in New Zealand, our kind of big lockdown back in 2020, and I started to notice how much I was really enjoying my skincare kind of routine. And I'm not really much of a beauty type person, but
that's because you have so much natural beauty, Kristi.
oh,
You've never had to be.
But I maybe it was just that I was in the bathroom and it was kind of quiet in there, during lockdown.
Yeah.
But just patting on my facial oil and putting in a mask, or I found this Australian company actually go to, and I really like the look of their products and the kind of ethos behind it. Michael's made me a little shelf, and I've got my little shelf of beauty products. It can be a 4 or 5 step regime, or it can be a 2-step one if I'm in a rush.
Yeah, right.
But that integrated into my day makes me feel like I've got it together just a little bit.
That is so cool, because I mean, I imagine you're sort of being quite mindful as you pop on the products as well. And mindfulness doesn't have to be sitting on a rock, being a yogi. Mindfulness is integrated in everyday life, especially if you're practicing sort of act mindfulness, which is acceptance and commitment therapy. It's just being aware of like what's happening right now. And if you're really having that moment of like, this is the time where I just focus on caring for my skin, and it makes you feel good. Like, I don't think it's vanity. It is just making you feel good. And when you feel, good about yourself, you're more likely to be engaging in relationships and, having the confidence when you do your work and that sort of thing, because you've had that kind of moment of attending to self. And
exactly.
and especially as we are in our 40s.
I know. Feel like controlling what we can control,
That's it. It's taking a little bit of extra care these days. But I think that's really special. And do you sort of announce it to the family, or has that just been a kind of an organic thing that has followed on from COVID, and the boys just know this is mum's time? Or
yeah, absolutely. And I think probably I have got a little bit better at with the boys sort of verbalizing my needs around some of that stuff. So, when you are in the bathroom, it's kind of like, well, that's mum's kind of quiet time. So can you guys go and do something, even just like a hot shower, that is a big part of my well-being. Like, I need to have my hot shower in the morning, and it's
like a warm hug, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Like, I'm really sensory, and I just love that hot water on my back. But when they were little, you didn't get that, did you? You had a 30-second shower, they were waiting, screaming at the door, or So I have this kind of real gratitude for that, even just that simple process of the hot shower and peace.
Have you ever had some essential oils in the shower as well?
No, I haven't tried that.
So, like, having a bit of like lavender, just to kind of, if you're really sensory, just sort of, really layering the habits.
Nice. I like it.
Something I've been recently getting through COVID was the cold shower. So I've had a hot shower,
nice.
but then it's the cold shower situation. It took me years to like work up the courage to turn the hot off and put the cold on, but when I just needed to lift myself. I was just in this sort of rut of like, homeschooling, trying to work, and just not going anywhere. So limit, like everybody else, limited dopamine, limited endorphins and that sort of thing. And having just that slight bit of discomfort was really helpful, because your brain likes to balance out. So when you experience discomfort, it sort of injects you with or releases a whole lot of pleasure chemicals to get it back to a balance. And you really feel it. And it helps with focus and that sort of thing. So I've become quite the cold shower poster girl now, like, which is amazing, because I get so cold.
Well, there's some good research behind it, isn't it? And I mean, none of us really like being cold. It's not, I guess, the process of doing it's not that fun, but like you say, the feeling afterwards, hey, in terms of feeling energized and
well, it's that control, it's that controlled level of discomfort. So, and that's so important. Like I remember sort of, straight after having kids, life sort of was, I mean, it was uncomfortable, like not sleeping and that sort of thing. But because straight after kids, like I wasn't working, I kind of felt like I wasn't pushing myself in any, like I wasn't sort of striving to, like, it was just like stuck in the whole monotony of like the babies, which was beautiful and wonderful. And I had mindful moments and all that sort of stuff, but it was just like, it was monotonous. And, I realized that my whole life, I'm so used to sort of experiencing levels of discomfort, whether it was through sport or whether it was through, a job that required me to perform or whatever. And that's uncomfortable when you're putting yourself out there and that sort of thing. And when you don't experience that level of discomfort, you're not having the highs as well. Mm-hmm. And so you're just sort of like, and it's fine for a little bit, but it's sort of, if it drags, it's sort of like, why am I feeling so blur,
Absolutely. So, that actually brings me to another one of my wellbeing habits, which is I started learning the guitar. And it is one of those things that's really putting me in a place of discomfort, as an adult learning a new skill. It's like, whoo. And I
nice.
I've watched my son and how quickly he picks it up, and then he's like, oh, I don't feel like I'm going.
I know, their brains are so plastic, damn them.
They are so but it's been like, I am actually really enjoying it. It's funny, I have to drive down this really long drive to go and see this guitar teacher, and often I'm rushing up this drive and feeling really pressured and going, why have I thought that it was okay to put a guitar lesson into the course of my week? Like I'm thinking about all the other things that I should be doing from a work or home stuff, and but it's interesting. I'd spend 30 minutes in there with him, and then the other day I was reflecting on how I was feeling as I was driving back down that long drive after the lesson, and I felt so light and sing along to the music, and none of that stuff I felt prior to the lesson is there anymore. And so I just, it's that mental check of like, no, I'm not going to let myself kind of beat myself up for taking this time or questioning the validity of that choice.
No, it's not. It's so valid.
Me. And I think it's, like that is definitely, playing the guitar has been a form of mindfulness for me. And it's been nice because it's just inherent in the activity. Like, it's not like I'm consciously having to try and control my thoughts or, not get distracted. I just am so focused on remembering the chords and the smooth transition and feeling the music, so it just, I really lose myself in it. And
well, I mean, music therapy. Music therapy is a thing, for so many different reasons. And it's the vibration of the music. It's the focus on the things. It's doing something, stretching yourself. It's the new neural connections that you're making, the pathways that you're creating from doing something like this. That's really cool. Good on you. Because that's hard it is hard to do at our age, but it's not impossible, so
no,
it's more challenging.
And it's not like I'm gonna miss it, playing in a band or anything.
Exactly. I mean, never say never, but it's just for enjoyment and to stretch and and
Yeah.
to feel like you've sort of grown, and you keep, because that's what our purpose is on earth, right? It's to keep growing and learning. So it's just another way you're growing and learning. And it's a
Exactly.
nice role model thing as well for the kids to see you doing something new and trying, and, you know, maybe not like, you know, maybe failing as well, but keeping at it kind of thing. It's a wonderful lesson to teach the kids.
Oh, that was my initial driver, actually, was to kind of just bring some music into the house, because I was, you know, sort of know from a brain perspective how good it is to learn an instrument. And it's like, well, I can't just impose that on the kids. I need to kind of, role model it a bit. So, and saying that, you know, I realistically, again, have to come back to the small stuff. Like I put the toast down and have a little, you know, play for like a few minutes kind of thing. Like I can't sit down. I don't have the luxury of sitting down for an hour every day and way, you know, like it. So I'm just finding little moments to just grab it. I've got it hanging on the wall. It just, you know, have a quick little play and then back up again.
Well, and that circles back to our, you know, at the start of our conversation, it's not about perfectionism. It's about seizing the moment and just going, okay, well, here's my assault bike. Just going to assault myself for a while. But, you know, and I can do that in 10 minutes is great. And here's my guitar, and, you know, the kettle's boiling. I'm just going to strum away for a little bit and then back to work or back to the, you know, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's Wellbeing Gets Real. Like, that is just getting real with it. It's not about, having to, be anything outrageous with it. So that's really lovely. Thank you for sharing. We'll have a little recap just for yourself to realize how well you're doing, and also for listeners. So you have this focus of just injecting calm and fun into your life. So it's not being perfectionism with your exercise. So it's concentrating on the movement, and, you know, you've added that little assault bike in. It's having the structured stuff, so the Pilates, but also sprinkled with some social, which is so important for that connection piece. And then having that morning ritual, you know, with your face routine and the warm shower and stuff, and just starting your day with a little bit of compassion towards yourself, really, because you're setting those boundaries kindly, you know, saying this is my time, and respecting yourself. And then the guitar and having and just being able to pick that up and, you know, challenge yourself. That's amazing. That's such different wellbeing rituals, and such a creative way of sliding them into your day. So thank you so much for sharing that, Kristi. And as a way of wrapping up, what is another little ritual that your family does as a little tradition? Or
well, we've for a while now, we've been kind of putting aside Sundays really as a bit of a family day.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't always work out, you know, obviously, but when we can, we'd like to just, I guess, save that day for just us four. And we, you know, we'll do things. Generally, it's either some getting out and doing some gardening. The kids, it's just something that I enjoy doing and the kids love doing with me. So we'll get out, do some gardening or some biking, or go to the beach, whatever it is, and then come back and we'll all cook like the Sunday meal together. And generally, dumplings is the choice that everybody eats, which is a bit of a win. And so we've got our little tasks about who does what with, you know, making the dumplings. Enjoy that. So,
that's such a lost art, I think. You know, families cooking dinners together. I think it's really special, and they know there's so much in anchoring that day, that special day. It just creates so much certainty in such an uncertain kind of world that we live in these days, you know, without being too morbid, but it's really quite uncertain. And for the kids to know on a Sunday, I've got mum and dad, and we do something special, and we cook together, and that's really nice.
Well, I think we all just feel quite centered going into the week, you know, like it's like I said, it's not always, but we've done pretty well, I think, at keeping it aside, and it because everything else is obviously very busy with lots of social and sports, and which is all great. It's all so important, but just that really kind of slower pace and kicks the week off well. So
it's that fine balance in it, isn't it? Well, congratulations. You're doing some amazing things there. And thank you so much for sharing, because I think a lot of people are going to really be intrigued at how they might be able to do some of those little things as well. And that's what this is all about, sharing and growing together. So thank you. Thanks for thanks for the chat, and look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah, likewise. See ya.
See ya. Thank you.